Before we dive in, a quick disclaimer. Although we are therapists, this podcast is not therapy and does not replace working with your own therapist. Everything shared here is for general education and conversation only.
Welcome back to Two Anxious Girls. I am Dabby.
And I'm Christina.
And we're two therapists who spend 40 hours a week helping people navigate their lives and the other 128 hours wondering if we are doing ours completely wrong.
Okay. Let me ask you something, Dabby. Have you ever described yourself as just a people person?
Yes and no, because I am easygoing. I really do just go with the flow. I try to be as flexible as possible and low maintenance, but I have also had to learn how to respectfully be assertive
Mm-hmm.
because those things are not the same.
Yeah, I will say, Dabby, you're one of the most easygoing people I've ever met in my whole life. I've never seen you. Actually, no, that's not true. I was gonna say I've never seen you upset or mad, but I have seen both. But you are, you are so easygoing, and that brings us to our topic today. We're talking about something that gets mislabeled all the time. People pleasing is not a personality trait;
Yeah.
it's often a pattern.
Yes, it's a learned way of relating. And if we are being honest, one that a lot of anxious people and therapists struggle with.
Seriously.
Absolutely. And thank you for being honest. Yes, I do get angry and I am upset at times. And I try to, no, honestly, I really do try to be assertively assertive
Hmm.
and respectfully assertive. That's what I wanted to say. Like, I don't want to be disrespectful to absolutely anyone, but I would say that I'm stern sometimes.
Yeah, I should say I've seen you mad and upset. I've never seen you be mean. That's what I
Thank
was
you.
getting at.
Yeah. No, I would never want to disrespect anyone or make them feel bad. But yeah, like we're humans. We
Absolutely.
get upset. But here we really are focusing on people pleasing behaviors because that's something that leaves us with resentment. And
Mhm.
we're gonna get into that. So let's go into our spiraling segment.
Mhm.
You are the paint the picture person. So do you want to
Okay.
go into that?
Yeah, let me think. Paint a picture of this. Okay, this is a good one that I often think about, and I often tell my clients to think about. You walk into a room,
Mhm.
and almost immediately your attention goes outward. You're thinking, who seems off? Who's quieter than usual? Is somebody upset? Your nervous system is scanning, not for danger in the obvious sense, but for relational shifts. You're focusing on someone's tone, their energy, their expressions, and things that most people wouldn't even consciously probably think about.
That's a great one. That's a great example. And I would say that without even realizing,
Mm.
you just start adjusting. You soften your tone, you become more agreeable, you become more accommodating, and you say yes, even when you really want to say no, to avoid bringing up things just because you don't want to create tension or make things weird. And that's very upsetting. It's very upsetting that one does that just to be agreeable or to avoid confrontations or to not make things bigger or greater than what they are.
Mhm.
And underneath it, there's usually a core belief. I don't want to be too much. I don't want to cause too much attention.
Mhm.
Or if I disappoint someone or if something feels off, then I'm not going to feel okay.
Yeah. So as a result, you maintain that harmony, but that harmony is usually most times externally focused. And because you're staying connected to everybody else, you're slowly disconnecting from yourself. And your nervous system learns that that's the cost of connection.
Oh my gosh, I felt that to my core.
I was gonna say, I've been there. As a therapist, as a human, I've
Yeah.
definitely participated in those people-pleasing
hmm
behaviors, I guess we can call it.
Yeah, I think that we all have been part of it many times to again to maintain the harmony. So let's go into our therapy insights. So let's define this a little bit more clearly. People pleasing, it's not just kindness, it's not just empathy, it's often a fond response.
Mhm.
It's a nervous system strategy rooted in survival, which I know, I get it. We're all humans and we're trying, especially in today's world.
Yeah.
But this is especially for individuals who grew up in environments where conflict feels unsafe, where emotional responses were unpredictable, or love and approval felt conditional. And unfortunately, these are learned behaviors since that we carry
Mhm.
since childhood. Not that we had bad parents or not blaming our parents, but unfortunately, it stems from our childhood, like many other things,
Yeah.
I would say. Do you
Yeah.
agree?
Yeah, I agree. I'm just sitting here spiraling about parenting my daughter in the best way possible so that she doesn't have people-pleasing behaviors. But yeah, I think
I just wanted to say that there are many things that we won't be able to avoid in our own children. But
yes,
as long as you continue to show up as yourself and consistent, that's what
yes,
children need consistency. They
they
just need
do.
both parents showing
Yes,
up and just being present.
yes, amen.
Everything else, they'll fall into place.
Yeah, I think we can, yeah, we're both present.
Yeah,
Anyway,
you got
stopping
this.
yeah, stopping the internal spiral. So, a lot of people think and learn, if I can manage other people's emotions, I can maintain safety, which means your attention becomes externally oriented.
Hmm.
Not what do I feel,
Hmm.
but what does everybody else need right now?
Yeah, a huge emphasis on what do I feel, which it goes back to what we have been discussing so many times before.
Yeah.
It is important to always take a pause, take a deep breath,
Mhm.
and really ask yourself, what am I feeling? What's going on?
Yeah.
I would say that key patterns that this can show up as
Mhm.
hypervigilance to other moods, other people's moods, difficulty tolerating relational discomfort,
Mhm.
trying to avoid confrontations, over apologizing even when it's necessary. I'm guilty.
Unnecessary.
Yeah, unnecessary. No, yeah, like it's okay to apologize. But I also feel when I over apologize, I feel upset with myself. Like,
Mhm.
what's the reason I keep saying this?
Yeah.
Over explaining to prevent misinterpretation and chronic self monitoring and second guessing, which again, it's okay to self monitor yourself, but
Mhm.
once it's becoming too much or you're doing it too often, here we use the word chronic just to demonstrate the severity and acuity.
Mhm.
If you do it once in a while, if you're second guessing, like, yeah, that's okay. But people pleasing behaviors are chronically second guessing and over explaining and over apologizing and just being hyper vigilant to other people's moods because you're just really trying to avoid confrontations.
Yeah. I've been there. The underlying fear is often, if I'm fully myself, will I still be accepted? But the long term cost of people pleasing is unfortunately self abandonment
Mm,
because you do end up overriding your needs and your preferences and your internal signals. And over time, that creates that internal dissonance, which shows up as anxiety,
mhm.
which we all
Yes,
know.
absolutely.
It shows up as resentment, which we all know. It shows up as burnout,
Yeah.
that emotional exhaustion, and a weakened sense of identity.
Unfortunately, that's all true. And that's what we're trying to avoid. And therefore, we just want everyone to carry this with them because we're not saying that it's preventable. Like sometimes
Mhm.
we will find ourselves in people pleasing behaviors and situations, but we do need to try to be attuned with ourselves because then it leads to these negative emotions that we don't want to associate with too much.
Yeah.
And therefore, you find yourself just constantly adapting and rarely checking in with yourself. And
Mhm.
we want to say that as a therapist, we're not immune to this. Throughout this entire episode,
Mhm.
we've both been saying, okay, yeah, we see this, we see
Mhm.
ourselves doing this. And here we are, literally trained to track emotional cues, to regulate a space and be attuned to others, which is beautiful in the therapy room, but it's not wonderful in our personal lives. It's actually awful.
Yeah, it really is awful, and it can turn into overfunctioning, emotional monitoring, preemptive caretaking. Even if someone's not asking for care, you just feel the need to kind of take care of somebody.
Mhm.
So basically, you are doing unpaid emotional labor everywhere, at work, at home, everywhere.
Ah, yes, indeed. And now we want to discuss what can healing actually look like. And it's not necessarily not becoming less kind or becoming detached. What we want is to shift as much as we can from external regulation, meaning focusing so much on others, but internal alignment. And that could look like pausing, as we just mentioned, before automatically saying yes,
Mhm.
noticing when you're scanning others instead of sensing yourself, and tolerating the discomfort of not fixing something. And lastly, I would say allowing someone to be disappointed without immediately trying to repair it.
That's hard.
That's a huge one. This takes me a lot to marriages. because sometimes we just want to avoid a disagreement
Hmm.
and we say yes, even though we don't necessarily want it to, or we agree to something or we compromise,
Hmm.
but then we feel upset. We feel guilty. So, yeah, it's okay to allow someone else to sit with that discomfort or to be disappointed.
Yeah.
We can focus on the repairing attempts later.
Yeah. And we want to try to understand that conflict does not equal disconnection and discomfort does not equal danger.
Yeah.
Something really important is boundaries don't damage healthy relationships. I think a big, big, big thing that we talk about in therapy is boundaries. I feel like I say boundaries 50 times a day.
Hmm.
So boundaries are amazing and they actually clarify healthy relationships. They clarify your needs, and there's nothing wrong with setting boundaries.
Amen. That's all I can say to that.
I love boundaries.
Yeah. So, with that, would you like us to go into our favorite segment,
Yes.
our anxiety wins and or guilty pleasures?
Yeah.
So, what do you have for us today?
I mean, I think a big one for me, Debbie, is that I'm just working on not people pleasing.
Yes. Yeah.
Just like noticing that I'm trying to fix somebody else's mood and just pausing and asking myself, do I really need to be fixing their mood? Is this necessary? And stopping. So might have felt awful or illegal in the moment, but here we are. I did it and it feels good. The more you do something, the better it feels.
Absolutely. And to that, I would say, I am very proud of you. This
Thank
is
you.
growth.
Thank you. Thank you. What about you?
I would say that my anxiety win is staying hopeful in a situation where I have zero control,
Hmm.
which for an anxious person is basically exposure therapy.
Amen.
Like even talking about it right now, I just feel like something on my stomach.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I hear you. I hear you.
But yeah, a lot of self soothing, a lot of we are okay conversations with myself,
Hmm.
and it's working. So
Yeah.
here we are.
Here we are. What about your guilty pleasure?
Guilty pleasure. Guilty pleasures this past week. Um, I was literally meditating right now.
I could start while you think.
Oh my God. I can, yes, please, because I don't have one from the top of my mind.
Okay, that's okay. My guilty pleasure for this week is watching childhood films. So my husband and I both chose a childhood film.
Love that.
Mine was Mrs. Doubtfire. Please tell me that you've seen it.
I have to watch it. Okay, obviously I have,
Oh,
but I cannot tell you that I remember the last time that I watched it. So I need to watch it again.
it is a classic, and I feel like that's such a wholesome guilty pleasure is to rewatch childhood movies.
Yes, indeed.
So that was my wholesome guilty pleasure.
I love that.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's, oh my gosh. I was actually talking about Robert Williams with someone.
Um,
Yeah.
R.I.P.
Yes. R.I.P. May God bless him always. Anyhow, with that, honestly, I think I'm going to skip it. I think that I had a great week this past week and guilty pleasures. I went out a couple of times. So for me, that's a guilty pleasure.
Yeah,
And
that's
I haven't
enough.
had ice cream. So yeah,
Mm, it's the season.
it's the season. Yeah. Okay. This weekend for sure.
Yeah. So, if you spent most of your life being the quote easy one, the one who adapts, accommodates, and keeps the peace, it totally makes sense. That was likely something your nervous system learns from for a reason, but you don't have to stay abandoning yourself to stay connected with others. You're allowed to have needs, preferences, and limits, and you're allowed to be respected and accepted.
Absolutely. And honoring those boundaries doesn't make you a difficult person. It makes you more integrated, it makes you more aligned, and it makes you more you. And that is honestly, that's definitely something that I practice. I practice and I do regularly. I do set boundaries.
Hmm.
And I don't think that I'm a difficult person. I just feel
No.
that it's who I am and it's
Yeah.
healthy and it's necessary. So
Hmm.
we truly encourage everyone to give it a try.
Yeah.
And if this conversation resonated with you, please follow, rate, and share to Anxious Girls with someone who needs it.
Yeah. And as always, take care of your mind, be gentle with yourself, and let's all practice setting boundaries this week. And we'll see you next time.
We'll see you next time. Have a great one.
Bye.
Bye bye.